Hey people, I got another how-to video for you. I'm going to show you how to wire your generator into your circuitry after the shingle delivery man leaves with the boom still up and drags your power lines down to the ground. So I heard a couple explosions and then the power went out. So I went outside to look around, and the police is trying to drag this man out the truck, and he wouldn't get out the truck because he done shit all up in his pants. They threatened to tase him, and he wasn't scared because he just been tased. So luckily I had my generator in the spot and ready to go and had it warmed up. You know, we had a hurricane coming, so I had all fresh fuel in it, made sure it was running. And so this is my welding machine that I use out on the job. First thing you want to do is pull this meter out. That's going to stop the transmission of your power going down them lines and shocking the man that's trying to fix it. So I couldn't get all the shots that I wanted to get. I had a wasp nest there and sweat rubbing down my eyes. But yeah, the first thing to do is pull this off. There's a little screw here to pull out and pull this cover off. It's got a little latch the same as the top here. And then you know, there's a little locking tab. Cut it off, unhook this, pull this cover off, and pull this meter out straight to you. If you got a frisbee or something, you know, that's good. Put a frisbee back over there. So put this cover back on, you know, so because when the power comes back on, this is going to be hot. But when you put your generator on, these here will be hot. And so I select this breaker here, and all my wires are red, and that's because when I did this last year when the power went out for that hurricane, that's all I had was a coil of red wire. Look at your breakers and select one of these double breakers, so it's going to have power to both sides. You have a 220. And select one that you're not going to be using. I use this one because it runs out to my shop to run my lift. I don't plan on working with it. But, you know, probably going to be the one that runs to your dryer, electric dryer, something you just have no business using. The main reason you're trying to get your power turned on is to keep your refrigerator cold. You know, make sure that you don't lose food. Your well, if you run off a well, so you have water, and you know, maybe a window air unit. If you have a big generator, you know, you can run your whole house off of it. But just the things that you have to have, you know, you're not trying to forget that the power's out. And that's fine, you know, because the red and black are the same. You know, they're both hot. And so this is where I pulled the wires out that run out to my shop. And this is the wires running to my plug. And when I did, I followed down the wires to make sure that this is one of them's black and one of them's red. And so this is the black and the red coming here. And then over here, the green and the white, I'll put them both here in this comm. And this red wire here runs out to my green. And I'll hook another one up here that this is a four wire plug on here on this generator. So I go ahead and hook them both up. But the common and the ground, you can hook them both up. It's the same thing. You know, when you're running 120 volts off of something, all you're doing is hooking up to one side of this, one side of the other, and to the ground or the common, you get 120 volts. So all I have to do is, the main thing is follow, you know, the red wire and the black wire and get them here, you know, and it doesn't matter which way they go, either way, and then the other two will both go here. If you're going to be in this situation any amount of time, or if you're not a hermit, see, I'm a hermit, there's nobody has any business around here, so I'm not worried about it. You know, they're lucky to get shocked because I'm liable to shoot them if I see them messing around my weld machine. But you might want to take out one of these plug holes and run these wires up through here so you can put all this cover back together. Make sure you tighten these screws tight. Tighten everything down. You don't want no arcing going on. My connections might look rough, but I soldered all these underneath these nuts. These nuts are just a little protection. It probably needs some black tape. I don't think I had any black tape around when I did this after that storm last year. And then make sure that breaker's turned off. And you're best off, you know, turning all the breakers off in your box. Then crank up your generator. Let it warm up for a minute. and then plug it on in. Hammer that plug on in tight there, and then come flip this breaker on. And this is the one that's going to your generator, and this is going to bring power to these two bars in here. And then look at your other breakers and see what they run into. Is it something that you don't need? Electric oven, home air conditioning units, dryers. You're going to have all your big breakers here. Separate apartments. And just turn on the breakers that you're going to be needing. I have one going to my well. I make sure I get that on. This goes to my upstairs apartment and my well. So I make sure I turn that one on. And this one running to this lower apartment that nothing's in there, I don't even turn it on. But yeah, select your breakers and turn them on one at a time, slowly. So if you have appliances like my well's going to kick on, it's going to take a surge of electricity. The air conditioner's going to kick on, it's going to take a surge. And you don't want all these surges going through at the same time. So you kick them on one at a time so they surge at different times. So I come back and cover this up. I put an old shingle over that. Put the cover back on. Sealed it back over with the cover. I'm going to have to check, and they got a pretty good crew out there working on this. So yeah, they're going to get my power turned back on today. So the moral of the story is, if you see a truck coming out on the road with a boom sticking up straight, get the hell out of there before you get hit in the head with one of these big heavy ass transformers, before you get electrocuted. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.